I bought a Selkirk bannock in our favourite farm shop in deepest Aberdeenshire. Seeing it lying in a basket brought back childhood memories of visiting my lonehead aunties outside Edinburgh who often had it on the table for high tea. The bannock was far from its traditional heartland and I felt I owed it to my auntie's memory to buy it. Anyhow, it's one of those cholesterol treats that are hard to resist, for it is best eaten with a generous spreading of salt butter. Selkirk bannocks have a long borders pedigree. Sir Walter Scott wrote of them in The Bride of Lammermoor, published in 1819. Never such a making of car cakes and sweet scones, Selkirk bannocks, cookies and petticoat tails, delicacies little known to the present generation. I suspect he would say much the same about today's generation. They have no connection with bannocks, or oat cakes, which are made with oatmeal and traditionally should be cooked on a girdle. Selkirk bannocks are a sweet tea bread cooked in a good, steady oven. In that staple of Scottish cookery books, The Scots Kitchen, by F. Marion McNeill, her recipe includes baker's dough, butter, lard, sugar, 3/4 pound of sultanas and candied orange peel. What you might call a cholesterol fix. When I was at school near Edinburgh, one of my lonehead uncle's treats was to bring me tins of Jet Hart's snails from Jedburgh. I don't know if they are made any longer, but they were sticky boilings, boiled sugar sweeties that took ages to soak until they were all gone. They must have had a very sweet tooth in the borders, or maybe it was just my lonehead uncle, for I remember getting minty hoick balls and moffat toffee too. And there were Berwick cockles, soft, creamy sweeties made in the shape of cockle shells. Calorie counting, I wondered what my hometown of Montrose could offer the regional palate. Marion McNeill has a recipe for Montrose cakes, made to Mrs. Dalgairn's recipe. I never met the good lady, and her cakes have never graced any tea table I've tucked my knees under. Can it be the brandy and the rose water in the recipe? Are 12 eggs and 3/4 pound of currants excessive? Or do a pound of fresh butter and a pound of sugar loaf blow the good calorie test wide open? Maybe the problem lay with the instruction to beat all the ingredients well together for 20 to 30 minutes. In Marion McNeill's day they would have done it by hand. With today's electric mixers this could be the time for a revival. Man is a cooking animal are the opening words of the Scots Kitchen. Scotland has an enviable range of regional delicacies, and Courier country in the northeast have their fair share. It's no real surprise I cast a generous shadow when I think of the 4 varieties I've consumed. I don't suppose the Dundee cake has helped, and perhaps it's best not to mention the Aberdeen butteries. On the other hand, there surely can't be a word against Arbroath Smokies. Simple, unadorned North Sea haddock, hot smoked over oak chip embers which cook and give the fish its delicate smoked taste, ready to eat straight off the barrel, as they say in Arbroath. Cullen skink, properly, it should be made with a fin and hattie which are difficult to find these days, but a smoky will do, would pass the good calorie test, if it wasn't for the lashings of cream that are an essential ingredient. But what a truly sublime dish, a meal on its own, with the fish flaked through it, and served with well-buttered slices of sensible brown bread. Floral favorites. A great favorite of my mother's was Courier gingerbread, which benefits from a spread of butter too. An old lady used to make it for her, and she must have used nearly a tin of black treacle in each one, for it was dark, sticky and gloriously coriandoed. Don't make the mistake of asking in the butcher's for curry dumplings. You'll get some funny looks and be directed to the local garden center. Primula denticulata, or drumstick primulas, pompons of lilac florids which provide spring nectar for early flying butterflies and bumblebees, are affectionately known in Courier country as curry dumplings. Haggis, black pudding, Tunnocks chocolate caramel wafers. Even today there's no end to Scotland's culinary bounty. If you're walking dogs every day, it's essential to go out fortified against the worst the weather can throw at you, especially as autumn draws into winter. The old recipes have stood the test of time because they convey a sense of inner peace and fulfillment. The good news is that the walk will burn off those tiresome calories. I couldn't end without telling the story of the wee boy who was given Cumberland sausage for his tea. "Did you enjoy that, dear?" inquired his auntie. The wee lad looked confused. "Where was the cumble?" he asked. Don't miss the Whitson's Kitchen, Angus and the Boyens take on the Great British Bake Off, every Wednesday in the Courier.